Hello and welcome to All on the Table RPGs. I am your host M, and for our game of Mutants in the Now, Brampton, Ontario, with me playing Lucio, we got Roxy,
Hello.
and we playing Blue Kobold, we got Maple,
E-Claw.
and playing Calvin Bosch, we got Nobody.
Howdy.
All right, so last time we left off, stuff had just hit the fan that the mall was being raided by CSIS, which apparently has killer robots. That's new. That's new information. And you fought a bunch of robots, and then near the end you found three human CSIS agents trying to arrest Dr. Yong. And well, Lucia Lucia killed one of Lucia killed one of them. And I think we're going to come in on that. Roxy says you're still not on the Roll20 page.
Oh, whoops. I opened I opened the one for our other game.
There we go. All right. So yeah. Lucia, you just punched a guy in the head so hard that you felt his skull cave, and he's dead. And yeah, Kelvin and Blue, you're there too.
I think Blue's just going to be staring. She's never really been on the murder side of the organization, despite how loyal she is. So I think this is genuinely her first time ever seeing
Is this
a
actually
death.
the first time you've used your gun on someone?
That too, actually. We're having a PTSD moment.
Yay. Speaking of those, I think Calvin is probably on the floor just desperately trying to first aid this guy, despite the fact that it's not going to help. There's two dead guys in here, as I recall, one who was shot and one who was punched, and he's doing everything he can for them, which is nothing.
Yeah, no. There is a third guy who is just unconscious. If he's relatively fine.
Yeah. There's that at least.
So how are you taking it, Lucia?
I think Lucia is horrified that it had to come to this, but also like she thinks it's what she needed to do.
Kelvin, you're definitely not going to be able to resuscitate them, but give me a first aid roll to see if how quickly you come to the conclusion that no, you really can't do you can't do anything.
Alrighty. That would be a 46. Which
of course, you succeed on the rolls on the. Of course, you succeed on your first aid rolls on the dead guy.
Of course, naturally. I can't first aid a living person for anything, but I can definitely tell when they're dead.
Hey, in another campaign, he'd make a good necromancer.
Yeah, you're definitely realize that no, these men are completely dead. There's nothing you could do for either of these men.
Okay. I think Calvin just sort of he stands up quietly, but then it's like he's going up to his full height, which is not something he normally does. He's not slouching anymore. He's all the way up. He's at his 7'8", and he's just sort of looming over Dr. Hyung. Are you satisfied now, Doctor?
I didn't ask for this, but they came and attacked us first. This was self-defense.
Excellent. Okay, good. Go ahead and drop your weapons. We'll turn you in, and if it's self-defense, they'll determine that in a court of law. Because, after all, you're a good person, right? That's what you've been telling me this whole time. You wouldn't want them to, I don't know, send a bunch of killer robots into a mall where they are indiscriminately firing at every civilian that moves just to get at you? You wouldn't want that at all, now would you, Doctor?
Over here for.
They shouldn't have known who I am. I don't know how this happened. But yes. You know what, Calvin? It takes the like small metal thing he was holding that you previously saw was some kind of laser sword, and holds it out for you to take. It's like, I will go to the checkpoint now and surrender myself. But no one else is coming to harm from this.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your cooperation, Doctor. And, if the rest of you will excuse me, I need to finish sweeping the mall and make sure everyone else is okay.
Blue solemnly nods.
Yeah, you better go check on everyone else.
All right. Yeah, for the most part, everyone else there are some people who are injured in the mall, but not seriously, and it's mostly been things have mostly died down now. Calvin, while you were searching things, you're getting a call, your phone starts ringing. You're getting a call from how do I pronounce your former commanding officer's last name again?
Oh, yeah, of course. Vicente.
Vicente, thank you. Yeah, it's Lieutenant Colonel Vicente.
Yeah, he'll pick up and just, sir?
Calvin. Sorry,
Yes,
she
sir?
would address you by captain. Captain. Who the absolute hell is Special Agent Amanda Copeland?
Deeply incompetent agent, apparently. She's had her troops open fire on civilians twice in 2 days now.
Yeah, well, but see, as per your previous request, first was going to investigate what happened previously. And to do that, I need to contact the commanding officer. So I'm like, go find out who that is. Get this name. Start looking up anything about her. There's absolutely nothing. There is no records of this special agent existing that I could find. And a couple hours after I start looking into it, I get a call from other CSIS agents telling me to stay away.
Well, that sounds, deeply problematic.
This is, yeah, that's one way of putting it. I'm not backing down into. I'm not going to back down that easily, but this is going to be a lot more complicated than you. I'm just telling you, this is going to be a lot more complicated than you were expecting.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. I was hoping this would be straightforward. In the meantime, I suppose it's only fair that I go ahead and give you further information for the purposes of the investigation. I have destroyed/damaged several CSIS robots, apparently. They have automated machine gun robots. It's a real problem.
My,
I assume I'm doing millions of dollars of property damage over here, so figure I should probably let you know for the sake of the whole,
they have. I mean, you know that. I mean, you've seen the. You've seen them when you were doing R&D. Like we're working in auto, automation to deploy into combat zones too, but like robots, not like
oh yeah,
drones.
like, the girl one from Wall-E? It's like that, but with a lot of guns.
I. Oh,
I
I
can send
imagine
you
I'm going to get
pictures,
told to
probably.
not. I imagine I'm going to get told to not look into that too when I go and look for it. But okay, that's. Thank you for telling me. Do have you? Can you tell me anything about this Special Agent Copeland?
Not so much, honestly. She rolled into town yesterday with a whole brigade, said she was in charge now. Um, she's an eagle, so
I'm sorry, she's an eagle.
yeah. You know, honestly, between the eagle thing and the opening fire on civilians thing, I'm not convinced she's not an American, but
Okay, that's. I don't know what to make about that. Was she someone from Bratton before? Like,
no, sir, no, she wasn't. Are you not aware that the transformations are spreading?
um, yeah. I've heard that there have been sporadic cases, but okay, this is.
I wouldn't call it sporadic, sir. They brought in 2 more busloads last night.
Two more. I mean, speaking with the overall population, that's 2 buses isn't that much, but yeah, that is a severe escalation from what I was aware of.
Or from the, none for the past 6 months.
Okay, I will get back to you when I will get back to you when I have something else to tell you, but there's a lot going on here and I don't know what's happening.
Understood. I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Long shot. Absolute long shot. But is there any chance you can get somebody out here, say tonight, just like a jeep full of guys who could be passing by mysteriously?
Don't really got any Air Force facilities nearby. I'll see if I could call in
A chopper would do the job.
It's really far out of the way. I got some friends at the Meaford tank range. I could see if someone might be able to pull some jeeps around for a bit.
I would really appreciate that. It's I'm starting to have a bad feeling. Well, I shouldn't say starting, but things are starting to go bad over here, and I think I have a scheme, but we'll see.
Uh,
Anyway, appreciate the update, sir, and I'll see if I can get some photos of those robots to send you.
okay,
I
yeah.
honestly don't know if the network will hold up for that, though.
Yeah. Do what you can, Captain. Thank you. And yeah, she hangs up and leaves it to you. Blue. You and Lenore and Dr. Young are given a moment while Calvin and Lucia are sweeping the mall, and Dr. Young's like, "All right, I am actually going to go surrender myself. I have a theory about Agent Copeland. I need to see her to confirm it, though."
Might I ask what it is?
So we've done previous experiments, and some previous experiments didn't quite work out, and so you've seen you've seen chimeras before, the animals that have been mutated into other animals.
Yes.
Yes. Well, let's suppose that there was an ant that you the pathogen was afflicted an animal, and that animal mutated into a chimera, but the other animal was human.
How do you think that she's one, sir?
Because we lost because 6 months prior to the incident here in Bratton, someone to we lost the we had another laboratory raided, and we lost in that raid a test subject escaped, an eagle.
Huh.
Now, what to do with this information? I don't know if I could do anything meaningful with this information, but if she is one of our our old test subjects, I at the very least need to know what she knows.
Why would she work with CSIS?
Oh,
Surely they wouldn't want a wild animal. Well,
I'm
you know.
all right. Just keep your head. Try and keep your heads down for the next whiles. While I am gone, Ung is in charge again.
Understood. I will go dark.
Yeah, he excuses himself and heads on out of there.
I think
Lucia,
right as he
what are
starts
you?
leaving, Alvin just skids around the corner.
Oh,
Wait. Okay, new plan. You're not going to turn yourself into her. That's not going to work.
um, after all of that, you're probably just going to try and send more into here.
Yes, almost certainly, but that's not going to. Okay, look. So I just heard from the lieutenant colonel, who is pretty high up the ranks, I should point out, and she can't get anything on this Copeland person. She's so deep state, she does not exist. If you turn yourself into her, you don't exist either. So what's going to happen is tonight a jeep full of Air Force guys are going to drive by, and they're just going to happen to capture an escaping terrorist. That way, you stay in the limelight and you don't get disappeared.
I gotta be honest, I don't care for this. I see your reasoning. I do not care for this plan.
You would prefer to be in a hole forever?
I mean, what you are telling me does lean into the direction of what I thought about her, but I do still need to confirm it. He then, proceeds to explain to you what he just told Blue. I don't want to repeat myself.
Well, okay. I understand your curiosity, but aren't you concerned about the whole, disappearing as a legal entity thing? I'm trying to... Listen, yes, I'm mad about this, and yes, I do think that this needs to get solved, but just getting dropped in a black site isn't gonna...
I don't think she could drop me in the black, meaningfully drop me anywhere, because I don't think any of us are allowed to leave, are allowed to be taken out of here.
And yet she was out there. I'm just saying, she's got outdoor permission. We don't.
And she's got that outdoor permission, but also no one is allowed to know she exists. So how much permission does she actually have?
Well, okay, fair enough. I can't say I was expecting you to talk me into being okay with you surrendering to her, but alright, I guess. I really was trying to do the right thing,
I know you don't believe me, but I want to do the right thing here too.
The real hell of it is I do believe you. I just, sometimes people's idea of what the right thing is ain't compatible, that's all.
If she was one of my experiments, then I have a responsibility to try and resolve this with her directly.
As you will, I suppose. Something tells me she's not going to be satisfied with anything less than a cure, though.
That's quite possible.
Not that I've actually, talked to her or anything. She was unconscious the whole time I was near her. I just, she seems like the sort of person who's willing to execute civilians to get what she wants, so...
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess stay safe, Doctor. As much as possible.
I'll try. And yeah, then he does head out. Gonna pop you off the board for the time being. And Lucio, how are you doing?
Kind of trying to put my feelings aside as I'm going through throughout the mall, checking for anyone we didn't find before.
Yeah, honestly, it's mostly just broken robots. Some kind of injured, but mostly mostly okay. Other animal people. You head back to the restaurant where just to, as you've made a full lap of the mall, and the one the one agent who was knocked unconscious as opposed to killed is like starting to stir.
Sorry, what?
So there were three agents in that fight previously. Two of them were
Oh,
killed,
oh,
and one of them was knocked out. Though knocked out guys that's starting to come to.
okay, okay. Um,
What?
I think Lucia looks at this guy and is like, "Are you guys getting the point now that you're wasting your time?"
You're you're harboring the guy who did this to you.
Doesn't give it any of you an excuse to uh, attack attack indiscriminately.
It's like we needed to get him. We
Sorry, you're kind of quiet.
sorry. Yeah. That better?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was speaking quieter because the guy's like, barely conscious. That was.
Okay.
I don't. We had to get him. He. If we don't, it's the only way to try and find a cure, or to at least stop it from spreading further.
So what? You start shooting at civilians and kidnapping people?
We were just going to arrest him. The drones weren't supposed to respond aggressively unless someone was aggressive first. I think they might have got a little out of hand, but I don't think they actually killed anyone.
It's always happened with you government types.
He's slowly getting back to his feet. So just question for the whole table. Did anyone take the unconscious guy's gun?
I feel like it would have been prudent for one of us to do that.
They already
would've-
have a gun arm and was also away from the main combat.
I mean, specifically, does he have a gun right now? Is the question.
I'm gonna say Lucia probably would have thought to take it away from him. Not for her own use, but so that, the
So that
agents
he doesn't have it when he wakes up.
right.
But yeah, Lenore does come over to you and the soldier. It is like, all right, well, Dr. Young is proceeding to the checkpoint right now to surrender himself. We're gonna keep your gun for now, and you're going to, go head out there and you tell them what happened, and you've got your man, and you don't need to mess. You don't need to come cause any more trouble. Understand? It's like, oh, okay, okay. He puts his hands up and like starts towards the door. Um, Stops when he sees the bodies though. It's like, oh, can I get their tags? Like if you don't stop him, he's gonna go and break their dog tags too. Take the.
Um, hmm. I think. I mean, I guess I don't see a reason to stop them from doing that.
It's probably a long shot because like Blue is like 90% dissociative,
Uh-huh.
but she is going to recognize this is probably something she should intervene on and gets up and tries to rush the soldier.
Okay. Why do you think you need to intervene on this?
Because he's trying to break the dog tags, right?
Okay, that's the way the dog tags, Canadian dog tags work. They're a single piece until you break them up. You break them apart when someone is killed.
Oh, never mind. I thought they were trying to like erase like who these people were.
No, no, he's just trying to take the
Like so
part.
the body can't be ID'd.
No, he's just trying to take the part to say that they've been killed in action.
Never mind. Blue is not doing that.
That's what I thought. Okay, figured there was.
Sorry about that.
I was all right. Then he takes their dog tags and leaves them all.
Blue's going to look at this person leave, look back to Lucia, and just I'm going to go for a walk.
Have fun.
And Blue goes on a meditative walk. She was briefly considering hiding out with Lucia, but Lucia now seems very motivated not very motivated, but like far less safe now that it's clear that she's like not into it, but like
Willing.
is definitely a lot more willing than the actual criminal who was like spending the past decade expecting to have to kill.
Now I would need to go back and check if I'm pretty sure you did not. That it was Lenore who got who killed the other one.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
like Blue expected that she would have been somebody who had to have killed somebody,
Okay.
and like now she saw somebody else do it, and she actually hasn't really seen much of it before outside of like very specific contexts.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the first time she has actually witnessed the life leave a human being, and it's even more distressing since it was specifically somebody she wouldn't expect to do that.
Yeah. I guess while is Lenore still in this room?
Oh yeah, Lenore's still here.
Then I guess Lucia kind of goes to one of the tables at the restaurant, kind of slumps down in one of the chairs, and like kind of just like starts massaging her temples, trying not to make eye contact with Lenore.
It's like you're good.
I didn't want any of this. I am more than willing to fight and do whatever it takes to protect the natural order, but this is beyond what I ever expected.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. She puts her gun on the table, just like, oh, listen. I've got to do more like street fights and stuff. I don't my hands are like less clean than yours. You're like you fight for you were fighting for sport mostly before. I I've done bad things. I've never had to use this on a person before.
Yeah.
Like
If anything,
after a few moments of silence, though, she does chime up and go like, "Oh, also they had robots."
yeah, yeah, they do have robots. That's pretty frightening.
Like honestly, if you said military robots, I'd have expected like those dogs that you see online, those dog-shaped ones that you see online. Not that.
Yeah, though I guess an animalian robot in this situation would be a bit too on the nose.
Yeah, suppose. Uh, so we've been restocking the. I've been restocking the kitchen over here. You want something? You want something to eat?
Um, sure, I might as well.
Um, vegetarian?
Um, preferably.
All right, yeah, there should be something. And she goes and excuses herself to the kitchen. All right, well, Calvin, you've assessed that the mall is safe now, and what are you up to?
Well, if I can send photos, which I'm not sure if I can, given the sporadic nature of the network here, I am shooting as many of those as I can to the Lieutenant Colonel.
Right, so as we established, the
And if,
modifications made to the tower, the network is now always on. It's just not as strong. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can send the photos. They're going to take a while, though.
Like 60 seconds to send one picture? What kind of service even is this?
Yeah, so you get a picture of some of the machine gun robots, and the robots with the stun baton and shield.
And yeah, I mean, I suppose once that's dealt with, he'll head back to the others to regroup. He's looking pretty messed up at this point. Like, everybody's had a bad day, don't get me wrong, but he's got that dude's blood all over him from the first aid he was doing, so.
Oh, jeez.
And I think he just heads back to that room and sort of slumps in the corner. Are you guys okay?
I mean, no, not really.
You were eager. I'm assuming this is when Blue came back.
All right, yeah, you can be back. Go put you at the table with everyone else.
Sure.
Not eager, but you adjusted quickly.
Not sure what you mean.
Blue just awkwardly looks to the side.
Lin- Lenore comes out with a big thing of steamed vegetables and brain fart. What is them called? The spring root. Just places them on the table for some for Lucia. Puts another bowl for Calvin. It's like I looks over at Blue. Is like, "Oh, I've seen you eat. I am not help. You could figure that out yourself."
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's this guy's. It's this. You have to you have to dissolve it from the inside. I can't help you with that.
I. Okay.
Also, you know, the kitchen is clean. I don't have anything I don't have anything alive to give you anyway.
I get it.
I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to be mean. I'm just.
We are having a rough day.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm. I've been better. I'll. It was. It was a thing in the heat of the moment, but I don't.
Does not define who you are.
I mean, that's the whole thing, though. It's like that's who I was. I was like the. I was the petty thug. I was the one who would go do all the rough shit that needed done. And, you know, then it came to actually killing someone, and it's got me all freaking out.
It's not fair that you're in this situation. I did. I didn't do this, did I? Blue is starting to like make some connections as to the fact that because she told Copeland about Dr. Young and then this all happened, Blue is now realizing that she is indirectly responsible for both of these deaths and the trauma that it's causing.
Oh,
That's
no.
that is a train of causality that is plausible, yeah. No one else knows you told them that, so she's like, what are you talking about?
I don't know what I'm doing next.
No,
I'm sorry.
no. What do you mean? You think you did this? You didn't kill anyone. You were only shooting robots.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to be playing a character having a trauma response.
Ah, that's okay. It's kind of where everyone's at the moment. So, I think, yeah, I feel like not much else is going to get done in done tonight, right now. So I guess you all eventually make your own ways home, and Kelvin, you get a text saying, yeah, some guys are going to be, some army guys from Meaford are going to be driving around east side of the east side of the fence for tonight. Not sure why you wanted that, but that's happening now, even though like that plan didn't really happen.
Yeah, I think he'll just shoot back. Apologies for the inconvenience, sir. I was mistaken. Probably we don't need that after all.
All right, I'll call them back, I guess. She texts back, and yeah. So it's the opposite direction of where you'd want to, from your home, but you do know most of the injured people have made their way up to the hospital. If you want to head that way instead of going home, Calvin, because I feel like that's a thing you might do.
I don't even know what Calvin would be doing at this point. He's messed up in the head, and a lot of stuff just happened, and he needs to process it. But also, he doesn't want to just because the kids are still back at the house. He doesn't want to abandon them there for a long period of time, you know. So,
Yeah.
but also, yeah, honestly, I think he's just out there on the water floating again because he needs to think and he can't. And if he goes back right now, he won't be in a good place to help the kids adjust or whatever it is they need. So he's just out there isolating and honestly just sort of breaking down a little out on the lake.
Okay, yeah, you go for your little float there. Blue or Lucia, you doing anything particular when you leave the mall?
Blue goes straight home to kind of process, realizing that it's probably going to come out that this whole thing is her fault, at least from her perspective, but like also from the perspective of people that probably want her dead. And she is going to sit in her apartment for hours at a time, just staring, and starting to register that like whenever she's not doing something for like a criminal organization, which she is now remembering or now like having to confront is, you know, not good people. She is just sitting on the floor realizing that this is basically what her entire life has been. She has been faking interactions with other people online, but like they're not real people, and most of the time they just got mad at her. She was insisting she was right, but honestly, the only difference between then and now is that she was raising her blood pressure and typing about anime boys. she never really got the chance to explore herself and doesn't want this to just be how she is forever. But she also doesn't think that there is going to be much more to forever from her perspective beyond the next few days, since, again, she is now pissed off CSIS and the organization she works for. She tries to think of a plan, but she can't focus. She wants to be able to turn her brain off, but she can't sleep. Eventually, as the hours pass and approaches a day, she becomes hungry.
Now, your dietary needs are one of the more eccentric ones of the people of Bratton, and yeah, you never got your food supplies.
Yeah. So she is going to be more hoodied up than a boy motor, but she is going to see if she can get her supplies late.
I mean, no, supplies never came. There was no supply day this week.
Oh, right. At this point, she's going to leave and see if anybody has any spare meat.
I'm. Give me 1 second. We're going to make a little bit of a roll here. Smith. There we go. /RD100. All right. 94.
The whole gambit.
All right. So you go wandering. Nobody you talk to really has any supplies, but as you're going, it's getting to the warm summer seasons. You pass by the lake, not immediately where Calvin is, but you do see sitting there at the edge, just in the water line. There's a bunch of crawfish.
She stares blankly for a minute before lunging. She may be an ambush predator, but she is not in the right state of mind for that.
All right. Just give me yeah, just give me a roll on your prowess. So your prowess is. Oh yeah, that's one of your worst stats. You want to roll under a 43.
Under 43. Gotcha. It's time to move the needle. Yeah, that's the 93.
Yeah, no, they scamper further into the water than you can catch them, and you're all not 100% sure you could actually even properly swim in this body. So, especially when you're all hoodied up.
Yeah. She just kind of scampers back to land. She considers the forest, maybe a deer or something, hasn't turned into a half human. Maybe it's like partially lobotomized by like becoming part sponge. She continues her walk, hungry and wet.
At least it's a warm sunny day, so you're not going to get hypothermia. Lucia, what are you doing after leaving the mall?
Probably gonna head home, spend a while.
You do know that Kelly got taken up to the hospital.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and I might go visit Kelly at the hospital then before going back home.
Okay, yeah, you go to the hospital and Kelly is she's awake. She's held she is severely bandaged up and can not really mobile because she got shot a lot. She's like, "Oh, hey, you're looking a lot better than I thought you would."
Well, didn't cut, didn't come at no cost.
Yeah, I heard about the
It's neither here nor there. I'm glad you're at least comparatively okay.
yeah, I'll live. It's been rough. Just
Yeah,
I just got here and I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I hope things are able to. Well, I hope we'll find peace soon.
Um, Listen, when they let me out of here, um, I don't think I want to stay at the mall after that. Is there
Understandable.
it? Do you have like do you have room for me to stay out there with you?
Well, I mean, we'll be a bit tight on space. My little cabin doesn't, you know, it's been just me and Buster for the last 6 months, but we can make it work.
Thanks. It means a lot.
Of course.
And I think that's a reasonable spot to end that. All right. Blue, at some point, I assume you're going to manage to eventually, just by on law of numbers, you'll manage to catch something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. I don't know what. Maybe you catch a deer chimera that got an unfortunate mutation that made it much slower. Or you catch a raccoon. I don't think raccoons actually would chimerize. I think they just become more raccoon.
I mean, if you combine a raccoon and a raccoon, you get a threat. But yeah, I'm assuming probably like a deer that is like fused with like an even slower animal. Deer snail. So she's
the
just going
highest pinnacle
to.
of new French cuisine.
She's just gonna have to be careful because I want to make sure I have the name right, but okay, no, that's not the name of it. That really powerful appendage that like. Wait, no, it is the blastula.
The what?
I thought the thing that snails have in their like
Oh.
mouth that like does a lot to like crack things open.
Oh yes, that thing. Listen, the deer just might not have it because you don't necessarily get all the animal traits. You all have like a
True.
significant list of traits you didn't take.
So yeah, she is just going to slowly juice this
You juice the
skinless
venison.
deer. She's not happy eating it because she wasn't like starving hungry, but like she was hungry.
And honestly, this is just a viscerally unpleasant animal to exist.
I'm trying to find like a non-mean way to say like this is probably for the best.
Listen, not having skin is a very bad thing for a mammal. So
Yeah.
Generally, yeah.
Also something about bones, I think, in this situation.
yeah. So we're not going to dwell on this snail deer creature anymore because there are
I'm going to keep
many
doing
things
it.
to unpack about it.
I'm just not going to say it on the podcast because my brain is never going to leave this thing alone.
All right, it's done.
If I may, I think I've got. So I
Did
think
those-
probably after a while, just floating out on the lake, Calvin would realize that he definitely took those 3 kids to his house, and he definitely didn't get a supply drop. So I think I'd like to go try to forage for food if that's okay.
Do you have a foraging skill?
I do. There is in fact a skill called forage.
And do you have it?
I'm sorry, not forage, but gather. But yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you do. And you're pretty good at it. All right, yeah, give me the roll.
That would be a 21.
Oh yeah, that is very good. You definitely find some edible plants and mushrooms.
Yeah, I personally don't know a lot about what meerkats and marmosets and otters eat, but I guess Calvin can Google it.
Ironically, the otter probably wants those crawfish that Blue didn't catch.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly.
they're still out there.
And with that roll, you probably get them. You know what? Just for drama's sake, yeah, I'm gonna say while you're out there foraging, you do find Blue and her terrible snail deer.
Oh, Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Whatever this is.
Y'all ever see Resident Evil? the zombie like slowly looking around thing? Because Blue was thinking clearly, she would recognize she's accidentally making that reference, but she's kinda just proven the reference right. She's just awkwardly looking at Calvin before picking up the deer and like running.
Huh.
The lack of bones makes it
Okay.
significantly lighter.
But the shoulder,
After
I've
she
got
like
it.
finds a place to put the deer, she will come back out though.
Listen, if you bid it, it's not going anywhere. So
Calvin.
Hi. Howdy, Blue. You doing all right?
No. I told Copeland about Dr. Young, thinking that bird was gonna be rational. I let them know. I led them to. No, I put so many people at risk. I got those people killed.
I'm sorry.
All that's left for me is to go deeper into being an animal.
I really don't think that's the case, Blue. I mean, I'm sincerely sorry that happened, and I'm sorry that I encouraged you to trust them, because goodness knows I've been doing nothing but for the past few days. But yeah, we messed up. We both did. Pretty big time. But there's still folks out here that need us.
You didn't kill anyone.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I got everyone killed. I don't know. It's just so much.
Calvin. You're only acting in the best interest of. You're wanting things to be right. You're
Yeah?
trying to help others. You are putting your neck out there. You are at least acting in a way that is respectable.
Am I, though? Because it kind of seems like I've been acting in a way that's such a big chump. I mean, ever since we've met, all I've done is defend the system and doing it the right way, and now in 2 days, that's been proven pretty big mistake. It's just none of this is right, and I thought that if we played along and did the right thing, then things would get better. That we, but they didn't, and now I've been telling people to do this the whole time, and here we are.
You were raised to expect the system to work. You felt it was the best way to help people. Even if you're wrong now, that doesn't negate that you had a reason to believe that. You didn't mean to let things go awry. You
Yeah.
worked towards something. You still try to do your best, even within a system that is just designed to crush us all. I just sat on a floor.
You said that you went to Copeland to try and because you thought she was reasonable. What did you think she was going to be reasonable about?
The idea of allowing humans to transcend what they're given. She was a bird. She didn't even come from that perspective. I tried to reason with a parrot, basically.
I'm sorry, that's not Calvin laughing, that's me.
I too enjoy Ace Attorney. I was expecting positive change. I was expecting to make good, to protect us all, to have them on our side rather than have them put their claws further into us.
So, from what I'm hearing, it's okay that I've been telling everyone to be a part of this and play along and follow the rules because I thought I was doing the right thing for everybody and it was going to be okay. But it's not okay for you to try and reach out and try and get them on our side because you thought you were going to help everybody and it was all going to be okay.
You were trying to have people keep their heads down from a literal animal swinging the axe. I didn't even realize I was reasoning with an animal. And if she's an animal that's now human, like, are we truly just losing ourselves? I thought this was good. I thought people would be able to find ways to be able to grow. They they spoke of people part sea cucumber and perishing from the sea cucumber traits, but some animals have regenerative properties. Some animals have just skills, the ability to be better. If we could just pick and choose what we could do, even beyond that, even just something as simple as gender euphoria.
I'm sorry, is what now?
Therian. I suppose there's a lot of people out there who would prefer cat ears and claws.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Blue. I wouldn't have chosen this. It's never exactly liked my body, but at least I could fly. Ironic to say, but it's stupid. I know it's petty, but I'm never gonna hit Mach 7 again, and boy, that's bummed me out.
You never liked your body?
I mean, I didn't. It was just a body, It was fine, I guess. It was just a vehicle to move stuff around. It doesn't matter.
I think it does. It's a vehicle, but it's the one we... It's our outward expression to the world. I suppose, in a sense, my room was my entire vehicle. But you had, like, interactions in the world. You were just out there. And I know we have societal beauty standards, but you shouldn't be selling yourself short.
I have feathers. I don't think that's...
I mean, before, even.
Hmm.
I don't suppose this is giving you dysphoria twice over.
I'm not... Is that the one where you don't eat?
You've never heard the phrase dysphoria before.
Apparently. Nope, you know what? I'm thinking of dysphagia. My apologies.
Aren't you friends with that hot butch crocodile?
With... Oh, yeah, with Chandra, yeah. She's cool. What's up?
The idea of that has never come up to you.
Chandra takes the Egg Prime Directive very seriously.
Like, my apologies, I'm cisgender. But what little interaction I do have is at least introduce me to others. And it sounds familiar.
Boy, I don't know how we got here. I was... Oh, right. The point is, it's not your fault. It's okay. You don't have to blame yourself.
And you don't have to drop the topic every time it comes up. I think there's a lot of uncomfortable things for us to sit with right now.
I promise you, I have never once considered being an alligator. It's okay.
Calvin, I apologize. At this point, I cannot tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
Maybe
I
a
mean it with
little, but
respect.
mostly to hide my confusion.
Understood. Again, we've both been naive, I can gather. In a number of ways. I don't know what's going to happen to us.
Well, I'm probably going to go to jail, so there's that.
And I'm probably going to get extrajudiciarily murdered. If not by the man I followed like an idol, then by a literal bird they've given a gun.
Speaking of which, he just sort of gave me that laser sword thing of his. Do you know a good place where I could hide this? Because I have 3 kids in the house right now, and I cannot take the risk that the kids accidentally cut each other up.
You absolutely cannot let the kids have the lightsaber near them.
You have a gun safe, soldier?
No, can't say that I do, no. I mean, I was
All right, we're
trained
in
on guns in
Canada.
basic, but I never had one.
I forgot we're not in America.
Listen,
To be
it's
fair,
fine.
Blue
That
is from America.
gun safe should still be a reasonable assumption. Enough people do hunting out here. Handguns are banned, but long guns are reasonably common.
Gotcha.
As long as they're not semi-automatic.
I can help watch it. Do you need help with the children?
Unclear at this point. Last night they just kind of came home and went to bed. And today all of that happened, so I was out getting food. We haven't really. I should probably get back soon because, they're gonna wake up and I'm not gonna be there, so that's gonna be freaky, probably.
Oh, if you need more support, the spider part of my brain tells me that it's normal, but when you have a room covered in web, it's kind of hard to indistinguish it from cobwebs, from mold, from rot. I really just doing to this deer what my room's doing to me. Rotting me from the outside in, swallowing me whole until there's nothing that can fight back.
I mean, if you need a place to crash that's not your room for a while, I don't know how much. I think we've got. Well, we don't really have much spare room right now, but I've got a couch.
Yeah, I just need to find something. Not let it overwhelm.
Yeah, I understand that feeling.
You're my friend, Calvin.
Thank you for being my friend, Blue. I really appreciate you being there for me.
She crunches up a bit.
But, yeah, I guess I should probably get this stuff back, and I have to Google some of those words you said, so.
Try to... There's probably actual trans people. You don't have to go through the same route other people have. What am I thinking? A lot of people didn't have good trans representation, and what helped them come out was stuff that wasn't supposed to be good representation. Or so I've gathered.
I am delighted by
Are you insinuating something?
I am delighted by this fact that Blue is just so terminally online and has just inadvertently made her a great trans ally. Terrible in most other regards, but no, completely understands trans.
Listen, there's a lot of stuff out there that's just for fetish stuff, and I've had complicated feelings of my own, but the new Paper Mario was know all about it.
Well, Calvin making a mental note to Google. People attracted to alligators Mario? Question mark, question mark.
I mean, Bowser's right there.
The problem with your determination being too high is that you're too set in your ways to realize when someone is telling you something to your face.
Yeah.
All right, Calvin, you do eventually make your way home, and honestly, the kids have been. I think I said like the oldest of the kids is like 10 or 11, and that that was the otter kid. I forgot what their names were.
Kelly was the otter.
Yes, yeah. Kelly's been like looking after the two younger ones for the morning, and she's been. They're all excited to see you come home, and yeah, you give them you do your best to prepare the food and give it to them, which you're like. I don't imagine Calvin knows how to cook a crawfish, or if maybe you should just give it to her raw.
I mean, half of Calvin's diet these days is just grasshoppers. I don't know.
Yeah, like you figure out something. we're going to go glaze over the specifics and logistics, and yeah, you get the kids some lunch here, and yeah, you spend a relatively quiet day at home, spending time with the kids, and later you do some googling of not quite what you were told what you were told about.
Well, I mean, there's definitely that one word, but other than that, yeah.
Lucia, you get home, and Buster is very excited to see you. The amount of gunfire has probably been there's probably been enough echoing that Buster's been heard that something's been happening, and you're not that far from the mall.
Actually, before we continue the scene, since we've got about an hour left, could we go to a quick break?
Okay, I was thinking we'd skip break because we're going short today, but that's no problem. We could do a 15 right now.
Yeah, sorry, I just got to use the restroom.
Yep. All right, we are back, and where were we? Right, Lucia. Yeah, so Buster is very excited to see you because you kind of left in the morning, and then there were lots of loud gunshots in the distance, and was freaking out a bit, as dogs do to loud exploding sounds. It was Canada Day. It was Canada Day yesterday, and my dogs were not happy about it.
Oh, puppies.
Yeah, but Buster runs up and he does that little, like half jumping up, put the paws up on you when he sees you coming.
Yeah, I think Lucia lets out kind of a relieved sigh, like not like in the way of like her being worried something happened to Buster, but more just like the feeling when you're holding a lot of tension in, and then you like pet an animal or do something otherwise sensorily pleasing, and it just kind of lets some of that loose. And I think for the remainder of the evening, Lucia is, unless something interrupts her as is known to do. Lucia is going to just kind of contemplate, meditate, sort of think on the implications of what has happened today.
You know what? I do believe you have a relevant skill for that.
I do have a skill for that.
You do have a meditation skill. Not exactly sure what we're going to accomplish by rolling it, but we're going to do so anyway.
Well, I rolled a good number. I rolled a 38.
Yep, that's a pretty good. That is a pretty good number there, and yeah, you're going to. Honestly, yeah, no, it's just going to clear your head. You're going to feel broadly better about everything. You recover your spent will point.
Recover what?
You spent one of your will during the
Oh, yeah.
during the fight. Recover one of those.
Okay.
I mean, arguably, you probably could have recovered it for dominance during for that standoff with the surviving soldier, but you can take it now.
Oh, yeah. I forgot my core values did stuff.
Yeah. All right. So you spend you spend the night meditating and spending some time with Buster and Blue or Calvin. You have anything you want to do before the next day?
Not particularly. Blue's probably just going to continue thinking, less depressed and like doomed here, but like definitely not good.
Right.
I don't think I have any particular scenes in mind for Kelvin, but I do think at one point there's just like an exterior shot of the house, and then there's like a big from off screen.
All right. So the next day rolls around. Everybody who took damage during the fight, so not Blue because you have really high resistance, and everyone else I'm pretty sure took some SHT.
Not much, but yes.
Yeah, recover up to 10 of that.
Recover how much of it?
10 points.
10 points. With this game not just automatically healing you to full like a lot of other RPGs really makes things seem more consequential.
It sure does.
Yeah, I mean it does the whole you recover based on time spent after. I am just abstracting that because I don't really want to keep track of the individual specific hours of what counts as doing stuff and doesn't. All right, so it's the next morning, and everybody gets a text on their phone saying supplies shall resume this afternoon. Everyone should report to City Hall for usual procedure at 1 o'clock p.m. And it's from like one of those like emergency alert numbers. So like it looks official and governmenty.
I'm guessing Lucia gets this too.
All right, yeah, you don't actually have your own. You don't. All you have is a burner phone that they wouldn't have the number for that. So no, I guess you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's an emergency announcement, then doesn't that go out to
Yeah,
all
no, I
members in
understand
the
the
area?
emergency announcement does probably go to out regardless of number. Like it would know based
They
on.
would need to have your. I mean, I guess I'm not actually sure. Is that work? I thought that worked fine. Those numbers are listed as being supposedly in this area. Like I will still get Amber. If I am in Toronto for the evening, I will still get Amber alerts for Owen Sound while I am in Toronto.
Huh. That's interesting.
So it's like I think it's by like where the address of where the phone is registered.
That's okay. Maybe that's international thing. Because down here, like if I drive to Houston, I start getting alerts for Houston instead of San Antonio.
I. You know what? For convenience sake, we're gonna say you get it.
Well, I suppose I don't even know why I asked in the first place because I don't think Lucia is going to go.
Okay.
Uh, um, hmm. You know, honestly, I think getting this text, I don't think Calvin is going to go volunteer like they used to, but I think instead they're going to go out to the garage and maybe rip up some old like roller skates and start working on if this is going to be a thing, they want to be ready, want to have wheels. So they're trying to adapt some skates for their new feet.
Okay, that definitely should be a skill roll of some sort. What do we got here?
um,
Mechanic, nah, kind of. Skate,
maintenance,
kinda.
maybe?
Maintenance? I think maintenance is probably the closest you got here.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's say maintenance.
All right. Well, that is a 58 on the die, so we're whatever skill you feel that falls under.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that is below almost all of your skills. So yeah, that definitely gets it.
Awesome. Now I have two strange modes of transportation.
You have made goose feet shaped skates.
Calvin learns what dysphoria is immediately, starts trying to bring disco back.
You can
That's how it works, right?
you can now use your extreme sports ability.
I've become unstoppable.
RPG text box pops up. You can now shred. Here are the controls for
So yeah, you now have
shredding.
you now get two movement actions a turn, but if you do that, your opponents get advantage on resisting knockdowns and repositions.
Yep.
But also, because you just do damage when you enter melee with two opponents, that is a significant advantage.
It sure is.
All right, so
And yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's got old skates or something that he could give to the kids just so they've got something to do.
yeah, no, that's reasonable. You probably got some old skates, and I'm going to be generous and say that the kids have managed to get more human shaped feet. Like, so yeah, you got them skating around the parking lot of the garage while you're working on
Yeah,
this.
you know, gotta keep him entertained.
Yeah. Blue, what are you doing when you get the text?
Blue just waits for a minute before like heading down feeling bad that she had to kill a deer first. That was also a snail.
All right. All right. So yeah, when you do go for when you do go, the two of you do go down to get the supplies of it. Kelvin, you are going to go and get the supplies, correct? Especially because you
Oh,
got
sure.
the
He's
kids.
got 3 more mouths to feed. Yeah.
All right.
He's
Yeah.
just making skates in preparation for it to all be a brouhaha like last time.
Yeah. No, you see the. You can get there and you see Kelvin that looks like all of the other volunteers had the same general consensus as you did, and like they don't have any civilian volunteers there. It's just more CSIS agents.
Wow. Serves him right, if you ask me.
And like there's significantly more of a hostile air to it, and like a lot more like armed guards standing by. Like Blue, if you were to be trying to intercept something from the shipment this time, you'd probably reconsider it, because this is significantly more security than you've seen before.
Yeah, even if Ong gave the order, she would object. But there was no order as far as she knows, so she is
No,
just here to get regular food.
Ong has not given you anything. As far as you know, this should just be the regular food stuff.
I love
Sorry,
it when a
point of
GM
order.
says, as far as you know.
Does Ong even know he's in charge? I mean, the order was relayed to Blue. Did Blue pass that along?
I'm going to assume that, like, on his way to surrender, Dr. Young texted Ung.
Okay.
Yeah, because Blue would have said anything.
Or Lenore has told him, because she was there too.
Blue
He is
trusted
aware that he is
her
in
own
charge
system.
now. Yeah, so it goes pretty regularly. Other than like the general hostile air, but like you get your supplies. They don't even question Calvin picking up the supplies for the kids. They're like, okay, yep, you could just take these.
Now, just a hypothetical.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible for Calvin to also get Lucia's stuff, since she's not here?
Okay, that one's a bit more of a stretch, because she is an adult and a known person. That's going to require a roll. You do not have any of the social roles, do you?
The only social role I have is networking. Well, I have image also, but don't know that either of those really apply here.
No. I think that the person with it's funny that the person with like the highest like superhuman affinity is the one with absolutely no social skills. All right, so that's going to be we're going to treat that as an untrained skill on affinity. So it's a roll with target of 61.
Target of 61. Okay. Relatively okay odds. 52. Doing okay tonight compared to every other session.
You're doing it and you actually realize like it's the one soldier that was not that this guy's got like a black eye, and you realize, oh wait, this is the soldier this is the one that didn't die in that fight there, and he
Oh,
recognizes her.
yeah,
He's
you
like,
doing okay? Sorry about yesterday.
it's like, I'm fine, and like he does, it's like here you can, yeah, you can take the rabbiter food.
Yeah, will do. Appreciate that. And you take care of yourself, you hear?
It doesn't really say anything. It just goes on to like taking the next person's stuff and information and giving them their stuff.
Yeah, I also would not say anything if a giant goose who beat me with a hockey stick yesterday was trying to tell me to be good.
All right, this isn't rules as written, but I will treat that as a check, as a mark on us on another social skill of your choice for when you level up.
Oh, interesting.
Just because like I don't, because the way skills work is just kind of really random. I'm not sure how much I like the way the skills work when you get how you get them. Like you get a whole lot of them, but like it's pretty haphazard how it works.
A little bit.
So
I'm going to mark networking because that's essentially what I was doing. So
okay, well if you want to mark it as networking, then that's fine too. Actually, well you succeeded, so you wouldn't be able to mark it then.
oh yeah, that's fair. Never mind.
All right. Yeah, Blue. You also recognize that the guy taking the paperwork is the one guy who left. Do you have anything to say?
Blue just looks dead in the eye, like tries to like speak, stutters for a second, and just like gives out a quiet sorry.
He tries to give you to return the eye contact. He can't really because he's not sure which one of the 8 he's supposed to look at. He's like doesn't really say anything, but does like gives you your box of rodents.
Cool.
What we've established your rations are is that you get live rodents.
Yeah. He feels a little bad about it, but thankfully, as a tarantula, she doesn't need to eat as much. There's probably been a few that she's like just kind of kept.
Yeah.
But then she named them, and then they became like her little blorbos, so she's not doing anything to them. Even if she'll eat the others.
So your apartment is you got a small little rodent, like cage for the rodents, the ones that you keep, and a computer, and everything else is just web.
Yeah. I mean, they're social animals. If she has one, she has to have another.
Yeah, they get lonely.
Mommy can't be home all the time. I mean, she mostly is, but sometimes she has some really important posting to do. I mean, granted, we're also going through trauma arcs, so not right now.
All right. Do you hang around after you get your supplies, or do you just head out?
2 books.
I think Calvin stays and sort of hovers. He's just there to make sure, in case anything goes bad, he can intervene. Because he doesn't trust these guys no more.
Okay, I am going to make a roll to see if there is anything happening, but Oh well, that's 100.
Is that good or bad?
You see, that would be a critical failure if that was a skill roll. So I'm going to lean on that's bad. Yeah, Jean Pierre is there to get his thing, and they're like, the. Now here's the thing: is like the paperwork is printed in English, and like he only really speaks French, and the agents also speak French. They're like, oh well, no, you need to be able to repeat what's on the paperwork so that we can confirm that this is yours. And they're giving him a hard time, and some of the other agents are escalating and coming up, and they're coming up on him. Like they're drawing weapons and.
I think Calvin's gonna leave all these boxes of food in a secure location, maybe on top of a building or something, since he can just flap up there, and
You
then
can't really
just sort of
flap up there while-
sidle on in.
You can't really
That's
flap
true.
up
I
there while
forgot. I
holding
can't
the
carry
building.
stuff and fly at the same time. Oh no. What a dilemma. Well, then on a fire escape or something, just out
Okay,
of
that's-
immediate view.
Out of immediate view. Okay. Jean Pierre sees you coming and it's like, once you're boss, the agents they're being extra unreasonable.
I did notice that. Yeah. Let's see. You get the. Sorry, is there anything that they're just trying to get you to say some specific stuff? Yeah. I mean, would it help me to coach you through it?
Yeah, they're giving me a hard time. That no, I didn't memorize the English on the paperwork, and now they're giving me a hard time about, oh, that is not really mine. It's like, how many other turtles are even here? I have not seen another turtle since I got here.
Now, just still talking to wow, his name just fell out of my head immediately.
Jean Pierre.
Jean Pierre. Yeah, still talking to Jean Pierre, but like turning to stare these agents dead in the eyes, just like, wow. I mean, that seems like a real oversight. We do have, 2 languages in this country. You would figure that they'd be ready to deal with a situation like that, especially if they insist on cramming people who speak other languages into our little village, wouldn't you think?
Go, Calvin, go.
Now that I feel like would be enough. Would be a berate or authority, neither of which you have.
This is correct.
So yeah, give me the 61 again, because that's another affinity.
Okay. Son of a gun, that's a 51. I'm rolling 50s tonight.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah, you managed to cow the agents down, and they're like, oh, all right, fine, you could have your stuff, and he also gives him Kelly's packaging too.
Calvin learned what gender euphoria was and immediately unlocked his true form of being a petty bitch.
Gosh, I love that for Calvin.
Calvin has unlocked his inner Karen.
Calvin keeps up the transition and starts using she/her pronouns. Does that mean that as the one raising these children, she's Mother Goose?
No. Why would you do this to me?
I'm just saying. I don't think Howard's going to be using that name or pronouns by the end of this story unless, murder
Seems
happens.
unlikely.
And if these children stay there, they're going to need a parent. What, would you trust, the cult leader Rabbit? Or,
Now she's not a cult leader. You need to have
Yet?
followers to have a cult.
I think she knows where this is going. Also, I apologize. I'll be right back.
All right, now you managed to sort that out. There's as long as you're watching, as long as you're there, hovering about, there's not really any more altercations. They're not wanting to cause a thing with you again.
Well, that's nice, I suppose, but it would be better if they... You know what? Doesn't matter. I would prefer if they were doing it because it was the right thing and not because of the threat of force, but it is. Never really considered how much that would be an issue before.
All right.
Yeah.
Suppose then after you finish that, you're going to take Lucia her supplies.
Absolutely.
I remember, has Kelvin ever been out to Lucia's place?
I think he was there accidentally a couple sessions ago, but I don't... it wasn't by invitation. I don't think he has a map.
Okay, yeah, that's another skill you don't have to do anything to find stuff in the woods. You know what? I actually don't think failure. I actually don't think any prospective failure here's that interesting. You could just find it. The only real interesting failure I think would be you encounter a chimera and have to have a fight, but we don't really have time for that. So.
Fair enough. I guess he'll just skate on through, doing his best to sort of push the idea, just the image of Ramona Flowers skating through town delivering stuff out of his mind, and... and we'll just, once he gets here, he'll just knock on the door. He's not...
Yeah, Lucia opens up and goes oh. She sees you holding the supply crate and she's like, oh. I'll be honest, I didn't go because last time we got fired on and this just kind of seemed, I was assuming this was just like a comical sort of trying to lure us in, thinking we're stupid sort of situation. But I guess it was just an actual supply day. Okay.
Yeah, seems to be. I saw you weren't there, so I figured I should bring this out for you.
Thanks.
It was nearly a thing, but didn't escalate, so there's that at least.
Yeah.
Seems like those folks are looking for basically any excuse they can get these days. They were trying to keep Jean-Pierre from getting his food just because he couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just, figured I'd swing by. It seemed like the neighborly thing to do, and figured I should probably check up on you after yesterday, so...
I appreciate it. I'm doing about as well as I can.
I think there's a lot of that going around, yeah. I know it's a lot, and I certainly don't have any kind of training or anything, but if you ever need to talk, I got a couple of ears. Probably. I haven't seen them in a few months, but I'm sure they're under there somewhere.
Thank you. I know I've said some unkind things about the military, and I still mostly believe them, but you, uh, you seem to be different than everyone else.
Yeah, well, it kind of seems like maybe you were in the right all along with regard to that. I don't know. There's still folks in there I trust, but kind of seems like they're not doing great as an institution, huh?
It seems they've more than failed us.
Thing is, I didn't even know CSIS had like troops. I thought they were just intelligence agents. So clearly, I didn't get briefed very well. Unless those boys are from other branches, in which case that is just total institutional failure. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, sorry, fair enough. That's didn't didn't come to talk your ears off about the various branches of Canadian Armed Forces, so that's my bad.
No, it's okay. Um, I can admit I'm sort of torn internally because I've always sort of believed in fighting and standing up for your beliefs and protecting what you care about more above everything else. But now that I've taken that to its most, logical extreme, I've taken a life. It doesn't feel so good.
I'm sorry to hear that. I can imagine that's that's got to be a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody left in town who would do this sort of thing, but in the Force, we're supposed to talk to counselors after stuff like this happens. Grief counselors, they say, but might be worth a shot. Something to look into if there's anybody who could do that for you.
That's. I hate to show vulnerability, but it might be a good idea.
I don't think there's anything at all vulnerable about it. You know, it's healing.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't mind me. Just going to go to random animal generator and get us a therapist.
You know, I honestly wasn't sure if there would be someone like that in town, so I appreciate that I can just speak people into existence now. That's great.
That's how RPGs work, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you know, it's funny in a way, really. I never. All the fighting, all the war, all that was never what I cared about. I just wanted to go fast. And yet here I was, the one believing everything's going to be okay if we do what they say. So, yeah, I suppose I can't really relate to having that whole belief in a higher value of violence thing, but I certainly know what it is to be a part of the worst part of it, even if I've never quite made it over the edge, so to speak.
Well, if I may offer you some advice, after this is all over, try quitting and joining like a private flyers club or something like that. That seems like a much more peaceful life.
Well, I don't disagree, but unless we wind up with a cure for this whole animal thing, I don't think that's really going to happen. You can't be a pilot if you're over 6'2". The cockpits just aren't built for folks this tall.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can still go up. It's just not quite the same, you know?
I mean, hey, if more and more people like us keep popping up, I suppose the world's going to have to adapt, right?
One would hope. I mean, I can't shove everybody in the world into this one little town. Probably.
No, I don't think they can.
But, at any rate, just, take care. And if you need me for anything, holler. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Oh, and watch out for that eagle lady. She's some sort of wild animal thing turned into a. I didn't get a lot of the details. I'm not a geneticist, but
Um,
I don't think you got that info dump yesterday, so figure I should loop you in.
yeah, I'm not so sure about that either.
Yeah, I think she was like a wild animal that turned human, kind of the opposite of us. So
Huh.
it's possible she sees us all as prey. What I want to know is how she got a rank, because that's a weird thing to do if you used to be a bird.
Yeah.
I love how Blue's been the harshest about her when, like, the last campaign I played with y'all was werewolf, and I was playing as a wolf that turned into a human.
Oh yeah, true.
I haven't really got into it, but I do think that Calvin feels extraordinarily guilty that he went to all that trouble to save this woman's life, and then she ended up giving the order to kill people. And the thing is that he didn't save her life. She wasn't even in danger, so.
Well, you did take her to the
All
hospital as opposed to just keeping her keeping her as a hostage or something. So you did.
Well, there's that. But yeah, I should probably get going. So take care, and it was good to chat. We don't do that enough these days.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure. And enjoy the solitude, I guess.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and head out.
All right, yeah, you head out. You go into. Yeah, I guess you're just gonna go home back to the kids and take put away their supplies because you're probably not just going to give the kids like a week's worth of food at once. That'd be crazy.
That would be strange. Maybe if they're up for it, like, take them out into the woods and show them a little bit about foraging, just in case this doesn't end up being a consistent thing with the food,
Yeah.
It's like it's quality time and it's also survival skills. This could be important in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, pretty reasonable. All right, yeah, you do that. You show the kids, help the kids with finding food. Find out that Kelly is actually just very good at swimming and is just being an honest, just giving her that very good at that. And she's like, honestly, she could catch all the crawfish she wants. You don't have to worry about food for her at all. The others, they're you got to show them the right plants, but they'll figure it out.
I don't. Marmosets are like not native to Canada. We'll have to figure out some substitutions there.
Yeah, you're figuring out substitutions, but it's roughly, it's like the stuff you gave him yesterday. That he managed to digest fine. So hasn't had any issues. Hasn't had any issues yet. So. Nice. All right. Last couple notes before we have to have to wrap up because we do have to end early tonight. Kelvin, you do get more texts from what's her name? I'm sorry, you told me at the start of the session it's Vicente.
Oh, Vicente, yes.
Vicente, thank you. Vicente, she does reply, it's like, oh, okay, honest. It's like, she does text you, it's like, weirdly, the robots popped up had less obstruction than Agent Copeland. Yeah, I've confirmed that. Yes, you did millions of dollars of damage, but you guessed that already.
Yeah, just a text back, like, if it helps, I was trying to protect civilian lives. Sad face.
He's like, oh, nothing certain yet, but everything I'm finding out everything I look at is not looking good for it's not looking good for what CSIS has been up to. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I suppose that means the plan's working. Thank you, sir.
And Lucia, Kelly does make her way out to see you. She is walking with her. She is walking with a crutch. They had to remove some bullets from her leg that's not fully healed yet, but other than that, she is good to go. And she manages to make her way out to the woods in your cabin and takes her. Have you prepared the couch as a bed for her or something?
Yeah. I'm probably like, I can't remember. I know we've established something about the bed situation in here. I don't remember if I have a mattress or if I've just been sleeping on a cot this whole time. But whatever the nicest arrangement is for her, I'm giving her that.
Okay. She is very appreciative because she's very explicit. Oh, it's she's like, I really don't think I could have slept at the mall.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I've been out here all this time for a reason. All the noise of society just weighs on me. But I'm starting to learn to appreciate other people a bit more.
Oh, you can't. no man is an island, you know.
Um,
Probably applies to rabbit girls too.
um, I think Lucia like gathers up some of the both like some of the supplies and crops and brings them in, and then like is like, oh, are you are you hungry or wait? I'll look at carnivore. That's gonna be an issue.
Actually, domestic dogs are omnivores.
Oh, they are. Oh, okay. Well, don't they need like some meat to
They do.
survive?
They do need some meat. And she's like, oh, I. She like pulls off a backpack and it has like her supplies from it. I don't. Not really sure what we're going to do. If you have anything we could do for refrigeration to like keep it from going bad, but I got my Jean Pierre picked up my stuff for me.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what time of year is it?
It's summer. It's June.
Well, that's a problem. Um, I suppose I can run into town and nab like an ice cooler or something.
We can.
So say that again.
She's thinking about it. It's like, yeah. The walkout here was enough on me, so I think I will stay here. I think if it's okay, I'd like to just stay here, but I
Yeah.
would really appreciate it.
Yeah. Lucia makes the trek into town, tries to find a general store. Like I'm sure we've got like a Walmart,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Like,
you could.
yeah.
Like the stores have generally been looted, but you could generally find like you've talked to enough people. Like Calvin could help you find. Calvin could if you ask Calvin, Calvin will help you find a cooler.
Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, if you're in the wilderness, the easiest way to preserve food is just to bury it, because being below the surface of the earth, keeping it away from the sunlight, cooler temperature, less oxygen, it'll decay slower. But if you'd prefer a cooler, yeah, we can do that.
I mean, yeah, I just don't know if Kelly's gonna want to eat food with dirt on it.
Well, I assume you'd bury it in the box, not just loose.
Like the digging an appropriate sized hole for that would probably take time. The cooler is you probably want the cooler as a stopgap until then.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's
much less inconvenient if you don't have to dig up your food every time you want to eat.
You dig a hole big enough for the cooler, and then you put the cooler in the hole. Anyways, I think that's a good spot to stop now because we do have to cut ourselves a little early tonight. So, let's go around. Nobody, where can people find you online?
Yeah, I can be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at Nobody Adams. That's Adams with 2 D's, like the family. I do a ton of stuff here every week on Tuesdays. I'm also on the first Saturday of every month for All on the Table with the Artifacts of Romulus campaign, which is coming up this weekend, so I'll be here. I also do a couple of different podcasts. Us Weirdos Have to Stick Together, which is about queer representation in cartoons, and The X-Files, a 9 chapters a week reread of every single Animorphs book in order. We are currently reading ahead because we have a bit of a buffer, and we're reading the dinosaur book, and wow.
And Maple?
Hi, so you can see me on the second weekend of every month with another campaign on this channel called The Secret of Small Gods, where I play a little goblin. I love them. Otherwise, most of my stuff is not published or released, so you can find me on Battle of the Blorbos, where I believe we finally got to the week where you can see what happened to my baby boy.
Yes, Byakuya has finally taken the bottom spot on the list.
Yeah, that did happen.
Can't believe the tier list for Undernight got so bad. He is like the bottom of this tier list now too. He's below Sheldon Cooper.
And Roxy.
Hi, I am. As usual, I'm not really on anything that aside from this show and also the aforementioned Battle of the Blorbos. I'm gonna do my weekly media recommendation. This one's gonna be kind of esoteric. You know that '90s movie Tremors about the worm that lives under the
The
ground.
Graboids?
Did you know that movie has 6 sequels, and they're just like increasingly terrible?
And a TV show.
And a TV show, yeah. I recommend all of that just because it's just mind numbing. It's incredible.
Alright, and I am MF Healy. You can find me on M Healy. You can find me on Twitter at mbluesky at MF Healy. I'm also the host of the aforementioned Battle of the Blorbos podcast, where we arbitrarily rank every fictional character. Yes, the newest episode just went up yesterday. That features a form as already mentioned, Byakuya from Under Night, Laos from Dungeon Meshi, Jodie Caldwell from Super Lesbian Animal RPG, Priestess F. Newman from Star Ocean 2, and Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. Because that's the sort of mix of characters you get for Battle of the Blorbos. You can find that podcast on Twitter at Battle Blorbos Pod. Sorry, Battle Blorbo Pod. No S on Twitter, where there are weekly polls. I really should put up another one for this week, but the current from the next episode. But the current one, still active from the last episode, is Ajit from Bakugan Armored Alliance versus Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. Who is better at cheating at poker? Currently it's tied, which is terrible because Sheldon wouldn't cheat at poker. That's one of the few things he respects is gambling because he was taught how to gamble by his Mima.
Well, just because he wouldn't do it doesn't mean he wouldn't be good at it.
Hey.
These
Anyways,
are the kind of discussions you can expect on Battle of the Blorbos.
yes. Anyways, with that, I think that is everything. So, good night, everybody.
Right.
6 of them?
There.
Yeah, yeah.